from the Post-Millennial. MSNBC censors images of illegal immigrant criminal lawn signs at White House Broadcast Row. The White House has not provided any information to support their claims that these are criminals who have been arrested. This is how insane these people are. Just show it and say it. Check this clip out.
Has put up about 100 posters of what they say are unauthorized immigrants who have been arrested for violent crimes. You can see them there. They put them up on the driveway of the White House. If you look here, that's the West Wing just at the forefront, the executive mansion itself to the left. But what's particularly noteworthy about this location is it is right directly behind the positions where TV correspondents do their hits from the White House lawn. So therefore, no matter what network you're on, that includes MSNBC.
Brilliant.
If you're doing a hit from the White House right now, those pictures will be behind you. The White House doing a briefing in about a half hour about what they're doing here. White House.
That is absolutely brilliant. Now, MSNBC blurred them out. Not in that by the way, but we do have another. This is the actual video. They say what's particularly noteworthy about the location is right behind it. In posting the clip on TikTok and Instagram, MSNBC and Morning Joe blurred the mugshot photos of those arrested. Quote, the White House has not provided any information to support their claims. These are criminals who have been arrested. Maria Teresa Kumar urged caution, warning that some past images promoted by officials were found to be altered. She said, our job is always to have our true north, and encouraged others to blur out the photos as well. Me, I just said, look at the photos of all these Maryland men. Maryland man, of course, is the new look at this photo or this video. All of these guys have been arrested on these charges. So that's it. What's the point they're trying to make? I'll tell you. Donald Trump was speaking, and when he was about to get into that Abrego Garcia was an MS-13 gang member, MSNBC cut away and said, you were just listening to the president, and then shut him down. This is why people like Hassan Piker don't know the truth. Then they go on their shows and are absolutely convinced what they're saying is true and that we are the bad people lying. So I'll tell you this. One of my favorite pastimes, of course, is to go on to liberal subreddits. Just go to these liberal podcasters and see what they're saying. Steve Bannon says this all the time as well. He only watches MSNBC. He wants to know how they think and what they're thinking. My favorite post from today, I think it was from today, was they were saying that on the right, they're actually arguing that Abrego Garcia is some kind of dangerous criminal and not a working family man who fled a dangerous country to live a better life. This is why I think David Pakman is evil. You know, he made a video titled, like, I've been warned not to leave the country. He is WWE. I'll tell you this. Sam Cedar is like, what's lower than WWE? Like the amateur league.
What's the Mexican version?
Street fighting?
Well, no, street fighting's real.
Lucha Libres.
Yeah, but they're cool.
There's what is it? What's what Valley Wrestling?
I don't know,
There's
something
a
like
Netflix
that.
documentary on it. I want to say maybe Apple Valley, but no, that's our waste company.
David Pakman is way better at the sophistry than Sam Cedar is. Sam Cedar is just like lowbrow, low quality. He's like, I'll just make a video about Tim again. And that's what he does. Like every third video is about me. And then he gets a bunch of views because that's what his channel is. David Pakman does things where, like, he made a video titled, Trump says he's going to wipe blue states off the map. Literally never happened. He made a video that's got like millions of views titled, I've been warned not to leave the country. Oh, shut up, David. No, you weren't. It's ridiculous. Trump's not going to deport you. What? But it works because these people believe this stuff. And the problem is, how do you, look, here's the challenge. Do you want a comforting lie or a difficult truth? And most people say, give me the comforting lie. That's reality. And so the liberals flock to the guy who's going to say, you're perfect in every way and you can do no wrong. It's everyone else that's a problem. And that's the easy path. And on the right, you've got people fighting with each other over these stories. And I mean, like I pointed out earlier with Trump DeSantis, the Democrats just scammed everything. They had all the Democrat moderates drop out and endorse Joe Biden. They all march in lockstep. On the right, it was vicious. Even the Nikki Haley supporters against the DeSantis. Then Vivek was trying to play nice with Trump, but then getting attacked and being called fake. On the right, you have people of different political ideologies fighting with each other, but then unifying around the idea that the left is a bunch of crackpot cultists lying to their audiences.
Well, I mean, they're obviously lying to their audiences, but that's all they have. You know, if they can't articulate honestly what's going on and just say we disagree with this, even though they could make a reasonable argument that says, hey, you know, because of due process, we're concerned with this, and because of, you know, whatever.
But look, it's even worked on It's even worked on conservatives. Conservatives have been convinced that due process didn't happen. They're being convinced that Trump should suspend habeas corpus. They're being convinced that Trump should block trials. Let me break it down for everybody, okay? There are no trials for illegal immigrants. Illegal immigrants people who cross the border illegally, they have what's called expedited removal. You don't go to a judge for this. They're saying, Rogan O'Hanley's asking about suspending habeas corpus because there's got to be habeas hearings. No. It's not the same thing as an American citizen. All that happens is an immigration official asks the person, are you an American citizen? No. Do you have an ID or anything? No. There's your habeas. That's it. You're done. And then the due process thing. I have heard from so many conservatives, middle of the road, moderate right, anti-establishment, anti-democrats saying, well, we shouldn't give due process to illegal immigrants. No. They do get due process. Trump has literally done nothing illegal. What they're doing is, in the media, they're gaslighting you into thinking due process for you is the same as it would be for everybody, which has never been reality. If you are an illegal immigrant, you have a hearing. You have an immigration official who just says it could be an ICE agent. There you go. We have an administrative warrant. Goodbye. Deportation. Then negotiate with your home country. There's no judges. There's no juries. There's no trials. It is in out.
If the Trump administration wants to get anywhere near their goals of these mass deportations, they need to be absolutely relentless and cannot give up to any of these fake news immigration story narratives. As soon as some of these start to pick up hold and they try to have due process and review all of each individual illegal immigrant we try to deport, we will get nowhere. There were 20 million some odd illegal immigrants in our country right now. And if anything, I don't believe the administration goes far enough. I think if we really want people to self-deport in mass numbers, we are going to need to hold people who employ illegal immigrants knowingly accountable, because there's still a whole underclass of people here who are working illegally. And we're going after the criminals right now, right? On Pebble Lane in the White House. That's what they were showing, people, criminals. But I mean, the fact of the matter is most illegal immigrants are criminals in the sense that they're in this country illegally, but aren't, murderers or committed burglaries as were the criminals on Pebble Lane Street. So I guess the idea here is they need to move fast, and they need to actually get to rev this up and not only go after criminals if they want to get anywhere near the mass deportation numbers. I do think Stephen Miller has been doing an effective job at this. Tom Homan has been deporting illegals for 40 some odd years, longer than I've been alive. So I think the Trump administration is in good hands with some of these immigration hawks that are in there.
I just want to make sure we have this for everybody from USA.gov. After a non-citizen is detained, they may go before a judge in immigration court during the deportation process. In some cases, a non-citizen is subject to expedited removal without being able to attend a hearing in immigration court. Expedited removal may happen when a non-citizen comes to the U.S. without proper travel documents, uses forged travel documents, does not comply with their visa or other entry document requirements. And that first one is all you need to know. Comes to the U.S. without proper travel documents. What does that mean? If you crossed the border illegally, you do not get a hearing. You are subject to expedited removal. That is your due process. The process that you are due in this system is when you cross the border illegally without paperwork, we send you back. Now look at this. If you did come in here with forged travel documents, expedited. If you did not comply with your visa or other entry document requirements, meaning even if you were here in good standing, if you are in violation of the terms of your visa, you don't get to go before a judge. That is the due process afforded non-citizens as it pertains to deportation. So I implore everybody out there to understand that Democrats are lying when they conflate a jury trial with due process. That way, When Trump said we shouldn't give trials to illegal immigrants, he wasn't saying strip them of their right to a trial. They never had one. He was saying we should not create a process by which we give trials to illegal immigrants. The media then misconstrues it, gaslights people. This is how they're going to make permanent illegal immigration the norm in this country, by gaslighting Americans into thinking that you have to have trials. So that way, in 2028, if a Democrat wins, or maybe 2032, they'll then go, but don't forget, it is the norm in this country to have a jury trial anytime a non-citizen enters the country, which makes it impossible to deport.
It's purposefully setting up a broken system is what they are trying to do here. Bring in millions upon millions of illegal immigrants, and then having to try to make the process of removing them make you a Nazi.
Well, not only that, the point is that's because they want them to stay in order to, as we've discussed, to change the makeup of the United States. They want to dilute the voting power of the existing, citizenry. They want to just import people that they think will vote more friendly to the Democrats.
So I have a question for you guys. So prior to working for myself, I actually worked for the prosecuting attorney's office in Jefferson County as a victim advocate for almost 3 years. So I actually saw this firsthand, where we were dealing with illegal immigrants that committed really bad crimes to citizens. So my question is, should we, if we catch these people in our country and we're like, hey, you've done really bad stuff, should we just automatically kick them out? Or should we make them, stand trial first and then kick them out?
Stand trial in their country for the crimes. Make sure they get locked up in the country that we deport them back to, is I think.
Can we make sure that actually happens, though?
If they want good relationships with the United States, they better bet
So as it pertains to some of these really bad criminals, the Trump administration has dropped the criminal charges to get them out of the country faster. That is not the United States' responsibility to deal with criminal gang members. Send them back to their country. So Abrego Garcia goes to jail. Okay, well, that's El Salvador. He's El Salvadoran. Bye. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.